Aloha! I'm Frank Greco, the travel guy, and welcome to Hawaii!
Come on now, there's a world out there and it's waiting to be explored. If you're craving an adventure, the travel guy's got what you're looking for. Sights, sounds, streets to town, just take a look around. As you dream of paradise, there's advice we must bestow. Don't just pack your bags and hit the road, you gotta know before you go.
Hawaii is located in the North Pacific Ocean off the coast of the western United States. It's comprised of 8 main islands, the most popular being Hawaii, Oahu, Maui, and Kauai.
My first stop was the island of Maui. Here, I boarded a boat and went to do some whale watching. The easiest way to spot a whale is to look for the water vapor spurting up in the distance, like that one I just spotted. Let me tell you, a camera is a must on this tour. The humpback whales show up between December and May each year, so the males can find a mate and the females can give birth in the warm Hawaiian waters. Although the humpbacks may not be the largest whales in the world, they sure look like it. Adult males can reach a length of 40 feet or more, and that's big. But the female humpbacks are even bigger.
That was spectacular. I actually got to see a pod of whales, which is 5 males fighting for the lone single female, which is quite a rarity. Anyway, I'm off to the Hana Highway.
I heard so much about the Hana Highway, I just had to check it out for myself. It's pretty much a one-lane road with many hairpin turns, very narrow bridge crossings, spectacular ocean views, waterfalls, and breathtaking scenery.
While en route along the Hana Highway, I stumbled across this place called Ho'okipa Lookout. I mean, just look at those waves. It's a surfer's paradise. This almost makes me want to take up surfing. Oh, what was I thinking? I don't think so.
Watching the local surfer dudes catching those waves was just mesmerizing. And before I knew it, the sun snuck away.
It's about 4:30 a.m., and you're probably wondering 2 things. 1, why is she wearing a winter jacket in Hawaii? And 2, what is she doing up so early? That answer is quite simple. I'm heading up to the top of the Haleakala crater, which is just over 10,000 feet to the summit. Apparently, it has one of the most amazing sunrises anywhere in the world. Haleakala is a massive shield volcano that forms more than 75% of the island of Maui, and its name literally means House of the Sun in Hawaiian. It's a dormant volcano that last erupted in 1790, and the area has been designated as an international biosphere reserve. The crater itself is enormous, at over 800 meters deep. Unfortunately, Mother Nature's not quite cooperating with us. The sun's trying to peek out, but it's not quite there yet. Nonetheless, you get a great view of the crater. Haleakala is referred to as the roof of the world. And as you can see, we're literally above the clouds. I'm gonna go see if I can find a better view. Haleakala National Park is rich with tales of ancient and modern Hawaiian culture. The park has an important mandate to protect the bond between the native people and their land. In Hawaiian folklore, the depression at the summit of Haleakala was home to the demigod Maui, and according to legend, Maui's grandmother helped him to capture the sun. He imprisoned the sun in order to slow its journey across the sky and to lengthen the day. Today, thousands of people trek up to the summit each month to view the once-in-a-lifetime event. While driving up to the crater summit is pretty neat, I figure mountain biking is definitely the way to go down. Haleakala has the world's steepest road from 10,000 feet to sea level in just 36 miles. Woo! Hairpin turns, abrupt switchbacks, and no guardrails. If you're looking for an awesome adventure, this is definitely it. A 10,000-foot drop through 5 different climate zones. Over 70,000 bikers ride down this world-famous crater every year.
After Maui, I hopped over to the Big Island where I rented an SUV and went on a self-guided driving tour.
The Big Island is known for its ruggedness, but it also has its lush and scenic side too. Just a short drive from Hilo, you'll come across areas like this.
There's so much beauty and so many postcard views to see on the drive that you'll want to pull over at every bend in the road. A word of caution, pay attention. The road is narrow, so be careful not to stop suddenly for a closer look. There are very, very few places to safely pull over. When you find a parking spot, you're pretty much guaranteed to come across an amazing place to explore.
You know, I almost missed this place. The trees do a great job of concealing spectacular scenery like this. Well, I'm going to spend a few more minutes here and then I'm off to an underwater adventure.
I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to take a few more photos before I moved on. I was invited to check out the Big Island's underwater world aboard a submarine.
So if somebody comes on a tour, what do they get to see or what can they expect to see?
It's a good opportunity for people that don't get wet, people from the Midwest that want to see coral, fish, maybe shipwrecks. We break 100 feet every dive. In Hawaii, we have 600 different species, so at any given time, you're going to see 20 or 30 predominant species on our dive sites, many of which are endemic to the islands, only found here, or may be indigenous.
I think I had the best seat in the house, right behind the captain's chair.
On this dive site, we have here in Kona, we have 3 different dive sites, and the one site that we call the Predator site has 2 small boats that are underwater. They serve as artificial reefs and habitats for the marine life.
The sub windows are specially constructed so you can take photos through them, so don't forget your camera. As Captain Steve was making his ascent, I felt like we were floating effortlessly back to the top.
Since 1983, more than 550 acres of new land has been added to the Big Island, and it's thanks to these guys behind me. Kilauea is one of the world's most active volcanoes, and Mauna Loa, or Long Mountain, is the world's most massive volcano at 13,677 feet. There are 2 main driving trails in the park, the Crater Rim Drive and the Chain of Craters Road. The Crater Rim offers spectacular views of the Kilauea caldera and Mauna Loa, while the 30-kilometer drive along the Chain of Craters Road takes you past many of the old lava flows and huge gaping craters. This is the first crater and solid lava you will encounter, and it's interesting to see how the plant life has already begun to grow. The coastline boasts incredible views, and the black jetting out into the ocean is where the lava has met the water. The Chain of Craters Road eventually ends where a 2003 lava flow crossed the road, and at this point you can either turn around and go back or hike out over the hardened lava. The distance to the current flow varies by day, and some days you may be out of luck. Make sure to bring proper hiking attire and footwear, plenty of water, and plan ahead for a difficult walk. Volcanoes are extremely sacred in the Hawaiian culture, and according to early legend, the goddess of volcano Pele originally came to Hawaii in search of a home for her family and her fire. Kilauea has erupted lava continuously since 1983, and every other minute another 492,000 liters of molten rock gush from cracks in the volcano's flank. Many little towns have been the casualty of the fiercely flowing lava, and the remnants of street signs and cars can be seen along the hike. Unfortunately, I was out of luck. The lava flow was too far out for me to see.
The next stop on my adventure was the island of Kauai.
Kauai is the least commercialized of all the islands I've visited. Well, there's so much greenery here. I guess that's why it's called the Garden Isle. Well, if you get here, you gotta check out Waimea Canyon. I'm here with my guide Webb, who's gonna take me for a walking tour of the canyon.
We got a lot to see, so let's get up here and check out these lookouts.
Is this a long trail?
Well, you'll definitely be building up a sweat, because you know, whatever goes down must come up when you're hiking.
Oh, man. Webb, I love how these trees form like a canopy around us.
Just make it kind of private in here. Nice how the sun kind of peeks through. And it's kind of wild, these are native trees. So Hawaiians would come up here, and when there's a lot older, these are young, and pick these certain tree and carve canoes out of them, actually. The canoes that they use for sailing and fishing and different things.
Well, how long would it be, let's say, the average hike through the canyon?
Well, you get probably about 3 to 4 miles. There's some that are longer, but average probably about 3 to 4 miles. And most of them have pretty amazing views.
Yeah.
The views were quite amazing, but Webb kept telling me the best is just ahead.
And I don't know if you've been to Grand Canyon, but this is very similar. It's a little bit more green than the Grand Canyon, but it's just as dramatic.
Look at that.
It's basically over here, the mountains meet the ocean. It goes from straight up 4,000 feet, right down to sea level, right down to the ocean in some spots.
Can't believe the colors, though. Totally awesome.
And it's amazing how vertical the greenery goes on, all the vegetation. And you can see how all the trees are kind of falling. That's from erosion, a little bit of rainfall, and it just washes away. So you want to see it while it's here. Hey, Frank, you see that goat right over there?
Oh, right, that little speck?
The little speck moving right along the edge of the cliff?
Amazing how they can just jump from rock to rock.
Yeah, as they get older, they get really sure-footed, and it's amazing really what they can walk on. But they're not good for the environment, not good for the vegetation. They eat a lot of the native species and walk along the sides of the cliffs. So, you know, if you see them, it's rare these days. You don't see as many as you used to.
Oh, that's gonna leave a mark. The Waimea Canyon is quite a sight. There's lots of walking to do, and having a guide like Webb, I got to see the magnificence of this natural wonder.
Frank, quit messing around with the chickens and get over here.
Oh, man, quick little guys.
You need to see this.
This is awesome.
This is the Waimea Canyon. This is one of my favorite shots.
Man, well worth the walk up here.
It is definitely worth the walk.
Yeah.
It's nice to get out and get a little exercise. For those people that don't want to, but you can also drive here.
Wait a second, we could have driven up here?
Oh yeah, no problem, right over here.
Holding out on me, but you know what? This is the money shot.
This is the Grand Canyon of the Pacific.
Yeah.
Now that I knew we can drive to various places in the canyon, we took the car. We drove to a new lookout above the clouds. Pretty awesome, I'd say.
The island of Kauai is renowned for its pristine natural environment, which includes the Waimea Canyon and a truly hidden gem, the Napali coast. Napali is one of Hawaii's most beautiful coastlines and quite possibly one of the most beautiful in the world. At 15 miles in length, it's home to world-renowned beaches, waterfalls, and 3,500-foot peaks. Napali's 2,500 hectares of wilderness is home to countless cultural and archaeological sites. Extensive stone-walled terraces can still be found on the valley bottoms where Hawaiians once lived and cultivated taro. But before heading off to the coast, it was time to go exploring. I was in search of the very old and very large sea turtles that frequent the area. The green sea turtle's snout is very short and its beak is unhooked. It has a flattened body and paddle-like arms well adapted for swimming. In Hawaii, the turtle is often referred to as honu, and the boat captain cleverly told me that it would be a whole new experience discovering these creatures. Sailing along the Napali, you'll see some of the most beautiful landscapes anywhere in the world. Malia's been telling me a little bit more about the area. So what does Napali actually mean?
Well, actually, Napali means cliffs in Hawaiian. We've got elevations up to about 4,000 feet, being the highest points on the island. Along the Napali, it's so unique for its different shapes and sizes along the shoreline of the cliffs. There's actually several valleys that, used to house different Polynesians, and they also had different villages there. You got weavers, we had fishing villages, farming villages, so it's pretty unique in a sense.
The sea turtles weren't the only ones to come out during our visit. One of the humpback whales swam right underneath the catamaran. And the very friendly Hawaiian spinner dolphins also put on quite a show, escorting the boat up and down the coast. As we leave the Napali coast, there are a few things I've learned. 1, bring lots of sunscreen. 2, if you get seasick, bring some medication, and remember to look out at the coast. And 3, the water will hit you and the waves are huge, but it's definitely worth it.
Oahu is the most visited island in Hawaii for the simple reason that it has the world-famous Waikiki Beach and the city of Honolulu. This is where I found Diamond Head Crater.
Diamond Head is probably Oahu's most visible attraction and probably the most popular one as well. Now, what's interesting about this place was back in the 1800s, British sailors looked at this crater and saw little sparkly things all around it, and they thought it was diamonds going on the side, so they called it Diamond Head. Now, I've been promised that if I walk the 560 feet or so to the top, that I'm going to get this gorgeous view, so let's check it out. Now I'm about halfway to the top. The trail getting up here is a little rugged, so I had to hold on to the handrails, but getting up here you get great views. Now what's interesting about Diamond Head is that back in the early 1900s, the federal government cut a tunnel right through the crater, and the purpose of that was so they can bring in their artillery so they can better protect their harbor.
One of the items that you should bring is a flashlight. To get to the top of Diamond Head, you'll have to go through a couple of very narrow and dark tunnels. And oh yeah, stairs that just don't seem to end.
Man, all that climbing, and I finally reached the summit of Diamond Head. They weren't kidding when they said the view is spectacular from up here. You see the world's most famous beach, Waikiki, and the rest of Honolulu.
Endless sun, pristine beaches, and huge waves are just some of the reasons that Hawaii is the world's premier surfing destination. And evidence of surfing here dates back to the early 1500s. Ancient chiefs used to surf for physical stamina and for pure enjoyment. So, I'm gonna go check out what all the fuss is about.
Only 2 things you have to remember about surfing. 2 things only. You always want to have your knees bent. You always want to have your head up. Waves coming up, paddling, 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 stand up! Oh, the cool way! That's pretty good. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, you're right? All right. After a quick lesson on land, it was off with my surf pro Amy to catch a few waves, carve, cut back, shove it, and hopefully hang 10, or something like that. Surfing has been an integral part of Indigenous Hawaiian culture for generations. Native Hawaiian surfers rode waves lying down, sitting, or standing on long hardwood boards. Ancient lava rock petroglyphs of stick figures have been found on the islands and illustrate this inextricable tie to the sport of surfing. Having never surfed before, I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but let's just say that surfing is kind of addictive. I wasn't exactly dropping in or hanging my heels, but the challenge and intensity of the sport is very captivating. Amy showed off just a little bit, but within minutes of picking up a board, I was putting on quite a show of my own. After my surf lesson this morning, I decided to head up to the north shore of Oahu to check out some huge waves. The Bonsai Pipeline could reach up to 30 feet in height at the peak of the winter season, and it's not that large today, but it's not stopping everyone from getting out and getting in it.
When the sun goes down, lights come on and the torches are lit, Waikiki takes on a whole new face.
Downtown Waikiki lights up at night. Every retail shop has some sort of attraction to get your attention, like this outdoor aquarium. Okay, so I looked a little foolish, but it was fun. You have to visit the international market. Vendors sell all kinds of souvenirs and local crafts, and yes, even the famous Hawaiian flowered shirt. This night, I was really on a mission to find a more traditional Hawaiian souvenir, a ukulele and a flower lei. Since we were both in Oahu, Lauren and I met at the Polynesian Cultural Center.
The traditional feast in Hawaii was once referred to as the Aha Aina, now known as the Luau. In the past, they were used to celebrate events like the coming of age and to welcome visitors. Unlike the past, women and men are now able to eat together and don't have to sit on the ground.
What you're not seeing here is the fabulous food that was laid out for everyone to enjoy. And enjoy I did.
I'm surprised you even managed to catch any of the show.
Oh, no worries. I caught the whole show, and it was quite a spectacle.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Frank, that's quite the loud shirt.
No, actually, it's a Stoked shirt.
No, it's definitely loud. Anyway, our island hopping Hawaiian adventure has been absolutely fantastic. We've experienced great culture, fantastic scenery, and even caught a few huge waves too. I've literally been on top of the world.
Yeah, and I've been to the bottom of the ocean. Well, almost. One visit here and you'll know why Hawaii is known as the Aloha State. So remember,
No, before you go!
You are probably going to spend a lot of time in the Hawaiian waters. The waters are filled with a multitude of marine life. But remember, don't try to feed them or touch them. Try to preserve their habitat at all times. Lava rock is cool to look at and to hold. But remember, it's bad luck to take one with you. And not only that, it's against the law. Rain or shine, get out there and have some fun. And remember, stay loose. Just joking.